Greetings, everyone. Angel here with Empath Views. I am super excited about today's show. I get to open up a few of my covert ops files and talk to you about what just transpired over the weekend, or actually, probably since the full moon. Would be a good way to say that. But we have some really exciting news. I'm coming to you on behalf of the angelic realm as an angelic human, and I want to talk to you about the last year and a half and basically what I know to have been going on behind the scenes in the astral and how this affects you as an empath. This is more like my old reports that I used to do in 2011, 12, and roughly 2013. But what happened in 2013 was something very remarkable for Gaia and the unity consciousness grid and humanity. And so I'm going to go ahead and launch right into it. What we're going to talk about is Nexus news, how Gaia is doing, what's going on with the Unity Consciousness Grid, and then empath tips for you after what I tell you just transpired, and what you can do to embrace empathy right now alongside Gaia now that we've completed these covert op missions. So, okay. Nexus news. In about mid-2013, several of you realized that, hi there, Sweden. Several of you realized that things went a little wonky and energetically with the earthly plane, and it did. Basically, one of the major covert ops that we were doing here between 2011 and now had to do with finding the nexus. Now, a nexus is a lot like what humans understand as a prana tube. It's a core. It should be a neutral point of energy for any sentient being. So we were looking for Gaia's nexus. The angelic realm was where it was anchored, where the strongest anchor point was. We found that in 2014. What we found was going on there was some dark energy activity, an incredible amount of dark energy activity. And we basically went to battle to secure that nexus, which we did do. And we secured it on behalf of the angelic realm, humanity, and Gaia. Now, what we found with the nexus was that it was being anchored and being primarily used with the dark matter. So again, a nexus should have a positive and a negative charge. A negative charge could be considered darker energies, darker entities, and those types of things. So we cleaned it, we secured it, and then I was asked to go quiet and guard, be one of the human guards for that nexus until we could do what we actually were able to accomplish and do over this last weekend, which is secure that nexus into the ethereal plane. So I can say with all enthusiasm, please ask your guides and through your heart for confirmation on this. We were able to secure that nexus from the earthly plane into the ethereal plane, which will begin to anchor in the unity consciousness grid into the cosmos. And you've been feeling this activity. By the way, I don't want to go too far. I mean, this was the most amazing thing I was ever asked to do. It did require me to go quiet because it was a covert op, and guarding that. We were guarding the nexus for the last year and a half against astral activity where people who just kind of didn't know any better, or souls didn't know any better, were either looking in on what was going on, which through quantum physics creates some challenges, most definitely, or just every once in a while there would be outside forces that would come and see if they could play and take the nexus and all that kind of stuff, and never was able to happen. So there are several tribes among men. There are many human guardians of the nexus, and most of them were extremely quiet during that. So that's why I get to open up a little bit more about the astral stuff, the woo-woo stuff, and talk about it, because now that we have it anchored into the ethers, this whole entire playing field for Gaia just changed. So when we looked into doing this secure anchoring, we found that a lot of you empaths were having some reactions. And what's been happening the last week or two is that you'll notice that from a chakra standpoint, and remember that whole chakra system's going through an overhaul, especially now that the nexus is secured. You know, Gaia's center is secured into the etheric plane. Know that everything chakra-wise will be changing over the next decade. So, but what you experienced was some tenseness from, say, the middle, what we know as the solar plexus up, and that was kind of a bracing empathically of you knowing that we were going through this connection, but you experienced muscle tension, a lot of neck tension, and this anchoring also increases the neuron activity in the brain, so that more of the neurons are able to effectively work with an anchor that has a flow to the cosmos. So if you have tension that's going on from the middle of the upper body up, stretch it out. Know that your neck, we were all just kind of, oh, this is what's going on. And then several of us experienced extreme dream activity as well too. And the dream activity could have manifested as nightmares, but this was what humans understand as the subconscious and the conscious merging, and you doing the transmuting of some energies and bringing it to the conscious level of perhaps some of the original wound memories or anything that we had come into contact with in this lifetime or the past. It was coming up in our dreams. And then remember that the conscious mind doesn't really know how to understand what's happening in the astral, or what's happening when this ethereal flow lights up the neurons in your brain. So you had a lot of symbolism going on. So nightmares actually are a sign of some wonderful work that you're actually now able to do and securely release this, now that Gaia has from the bottom of her, if you would call it the bottom, to the top as we understand it. She is secure from ground to crown. And this means that we can successfully transmute not only what I had talked about in the last video, which was the Akashic records, which is a human record of activities, but we can also transmute what has happened right here, right now, in this lifetime. And so these nightmares, please don't think that they were something bad or negative. They were necessary, and a lot of those nightmares are turning into wonderful dreams as well too. Now, one of the things that we did as soon as we did secure the nexus, and while we were guarding it, is that we restricted the astral play on the earthly plane. And one of the reasons why that is because we were working with the natives of this land, both in the physical body, and the natives and the elders of the land that were not in the physical body. Because once we secured the nexus, we were able to go in and find and restore the magic, because the darker energies that we found on the nexus, they had basically drained the magic from the earthly plane. So what we said was we need a lot of the astral activity to cease while we go with the elementals and restore the magic there as well too. So now what you're going to be feeling and sensing and seeing is you're going to remember more astral activity, because you're actually able to play now in the astral. And what we did is we gave a resting period over the last month or two for the natives in the physical body, so that they couldn't feel a lot of the astral play. So for those of you who do healing on a global level with Gaia and those types of things, you'll see and you'll notice that you'll be more aware of that astral activity. So pay very close attention to your dreams. Remember, the conscious mind has no idea, no reference as to what we're doing actually in the astral, but what we are doing is we'll be doing a series of succession of alignments in with this nexus into the ethereal plane that basically happened over the weekend. A lot of you felt it, and there was this, and then it'll be resuming again on a more steady level in January, given that humanity has been experiencing some emotional challenges and its own transmutation of these segregation energy-wise thought forms, whether it be race-related. We've got a lot of government, police, those types of things, activities. Those are all energies that are pushing up to transmute as well too. So we kind of scaled things back, but January we're going to go, even though I don't like equating things so much these days with the Gregorian calendar, love equating it with what's going on with solar activity and the moon, and we're going to be coming more into alignment with nature and the ethereal nature through this as well too, because ethereal nature hasn't been able to permeate this plane, and now with the help of those natives and those types of things, we're able to resume the astral play. The sun itself has been quite helpful. You've noticed that there's been solar eruptions reported and those types of things because we needed a great deal of power to secure this nexus to the ethereal plane. And I love great deals of power. And my gag order actually has been lifted, so we can talk more about the covert ops and those things that are involved. And I'm probably going to start a little series called Ask Angel Anything About Ascension, so I can speak more openly now that I'm not focused on maintaining a balance that we were focusing on for Gaia as well too, and we can be more open and talk more about this woo-woo stuff. And you'll also notice that with the astral play being resumed, your guides are going to be more active with you as well too. Now, you always should trust you when it comes to your guides. So anything I'm saying now, please, by all means, when you're done listening to this or during this, hit the pause button if you're looking at the replay. Ask your guides for validation on this. Ask what this means for you. Ask as an empath, is it a more secure environment now to open my empathic eyes and begin to use my gifts and begin to use my heart? And know that the heart channel is the most secure channel, the empathic channel that you could ever channel information from. And each individual soul will channel things differently from the ethereal plane. And then I'll be working with assisting the humans and the empaths that want to embrace this ethereal shamanism through nature, because nature is going to be speaking through the ethereal plane. And you can think of the ethereal plane like a Wi-Fi access to the cosmos, to God, to source. And basically the way that you get your Wi-Fi access codes is by doing your empathic work within. You don't have to have everything resolved. I hope that I've made it very clear that I am human, and I definitely don't have all of my human stuff resolved, but I'm very aware of it and I'm conscious of it, and I allow all of it. The lower level energies, and now that we've got this secure etheric anchor with Gaia as well too, now we're going to reach the joy. Now we're going to reach the happiness, but we have to have the whole makeup of those emotions be a part of it. And when you embrace that and you allow that not only within yourself, but in your family and in your friends and online with social media, then you're allowed this Wi-Fi secure type access into the ethers. Otherwise, there's this other energy filtration system that goes on in what's referred to as the 3D. We have two different energy filtration systems now. The ethereal natural system, and for the last month or two, a lot of us have been doing our empathic work. That's why I've been like, family, let's embrace this. Let's understand what's going on. We've been doing that work so that we can use an energy filtration system that is natural, that goes from Gaia into the cosmos, that transmutes up into the or not dimensions. We only understand dimensions from 1 through 12 here, but past that into the ethers, into an optimally transmutational environment. So there isn't this density of the planet. And this affects everything within this galaxy, all of the other planets as well too. So the old 3D system will be anchored in the filtration system will be the dumping, the empath dumping, where even people that claim to be so ascension minded, they're still dumping their energy online, or they're more interested in being validated and those types of things, actually other than the greater good or doing the work for Gaia. You'll be able to sense that and see that, and that's okay. That's mind and ego related. Mind and ego are a huge part of this piece, and that comes from being and feeling insecure, because when you access the etheric plane, you're going to hear things that are phenomenally different than how humans understand energy, how humans understand ascension, how humans understand the Akashic records, karma, twin flames, how humans understand the soul. All of those things are going to sound remarkably whole and secure in this environment. So those still trying to filtrate through the 3D system, it's going to become aware, and we must simply allow that and know that we have a lot of that, a lot of our mind anchored in those thoughts, and know that we really have no idea the how energy actually works, how love and all-encompassing love works. So we've been working very quickly to get as many of the empaths onto the new filtration system through the etheric plane, and you may have noticed some huge shifts in your own consciousness from that empathic work as well too. So congratulations for those of you. And And as a guardian for Gaia and Gaia's Nexus, I can tell you that I'm on a large team. Most humans not conscious of it, but several humans, you will be made more aware of what your astral activity has been in the last few years as well too. So, you know, this is going to be in alignment with the neurons activating and those types of things. So if you're filtering, if you're using the energy filtration system where it's like, pay attention to me, I need attention, I need attention, I need attention, you know, this is human related, and you're going to just be stuck in this hamster wheel. Worry, how do I get my needs met? You know, you need to meet your own and nurture your own energetic needs. So if you have this overwhelming urge to be validated and those types of things, you're still trying to process on the old energy filtration system. And this inward sucking of attention grabbing is very it's a very dense, controlled type of a thing. So you will feel instantly when you're working with the new filtration system, because you'll be allowing all. You won't be the judging of it. So there's this inward, and then there's this outward in this old filtration system, which is, I'm going to blame you for this, I'm going to blame you for that, if this wasn't this, if the government wasn't this, if HARP, somebody brought up HARP on the last video when I was talking about earthquakes, that it's been proven that HARP causes earthquakes. And it's like, yeah, I think we went over that in 2011, 2012. But we have the frequencies to override any man-made toys. So you don't want to stay stuck in these conspiracy theories types of situations, and you'll notice the difference in that. And then you've got this fourth dimensional kind of grace period thing, and then the etheric filtration system is, okay, I'm going to allow these processes to happen. I feel secure in what it is that I'm hearing, and I know that what I hear is unique to everybody else and what they hear as well too. And we're going to get out of this comparison thing that we've been doing social media wise. And you'll begin to be able, you know, as an etheric empath or an ethereal empath, you should be able to channel absolutely everything and anything for anyone that you are following. And that's going to take some time, and you're going to want to stay very aware of this old energy filtration system, because it will not support you being unique and being able to, it's based in a good deal of insecurity, and that's normal. You know, we're all insecure, but what we're working on is finding that security in what we hear, reestablishing that relationship with our guides, an empathic relationship with our guides, which is going to be less words, but much more clearer hearing. And you're going to hear and filtrate through the divine little empath within you, the divine child in you that has sensed all of this activity in the other part of this energetic world, knows all of this activity, knows all of this chaos, and we just haven't been able to center and balance, because of course our own nexus, our own core has been pulling into these gravitational density pools about the insecurity of how energy has been used. Those denser, darker energies, which everything has been cleared and cleaned. We would not have been able to anchor the nexus into the ethereal plane if there was still currently in the now all of that extraterrestrial negative stuff that you've heard about. It simply could not have happened. So if you're still hearing some things about these types of things as well too, they could be post-traumatic energy stress related from the individuals who very, very, very much so went through those things, and bless their hearts, I totally understand that. I work very strongly with empaths who have memories of that, you know, but know and understand that in the now and in this energetic filtration system, we promise you this is a secure network. We promise you that we are not being attacked. We promise you that any extraterrestrial races or anything that you've known about with these people that are talking, they have all gone home, and there are merely the trails left behind of the energy that we need to transmute, and that's why we're resuming the astral play. So those who are just channeling through the mind will still pick up on the trails of all of that really, really dark energetic stuff, and those are the ones that you have to know and understand that there is validation in what they're hearing. There is, you know, these were past experiences, and when you have really been conscious of something like that, it takes you a while. You've been mind-bended. So understand that. Center yourself. Ask your guides, is this something that's going on in the now if you're hearing that? And then move to work on your own fears of what you've known and understood to have happened prior to now, because everything is absolutely wonderful when it comes to the etheric plane with Gaia, and you can establish your own core core connection with Gaia as well now too. So let me look at my notes here. I'm not sure how long. Ooh, 20 minutes. Wow. I'm rambling. Okay, we went through that. Now again, the neurons I felt a lot of left brain activity. I can feel it. I can feel tingles, feel those types of things. What my guides are saying to me is that it's really important that we take a look at the mineral intake. Most diets don't encourage a mineral intake, but these etheric energies are faster. Your body's never been used to it. I think Lee Harris referred to a little bit. I saw something. He said that, you know, the physical human body has never felt these strong energies, and especially now, I got a cat who's making an appearance now, especially now that you've got this connection. It's a much faster rotation. So your body is going to assimilate the fuel and the energies much more. So here's an empath tip on your body. The more that you stay ethereally connected, diet is coming up. How we emotionally eat is coming up. How we comfort ourselves through those emotions is coming up. What you're going to want to do is adopt a grazing type of a diet. Not such a strict diet. Follow your own body, but eat every 2 hours. Your body needs fuel to be able to keep assimilating this, and to be able to keep going with all of these energies as well too. So keep that in mind, and graze on what your body needs. Each individual body needs something different. And you're going back to perhaps, like I have even noticed myself craving meat as my body was changing, you know, and those types of things. Don't be hard on yourself about anything that your body is craving or doing those types of things, because it's trying to tell you that you're missing something. Most of you are missing magnesium in your diet. Take a look at that. Magnesium is the precursor to a lot of wonderful things that can happen within your body. And you'll see the reversing of some aging, and how people say when you meditate, you look 10 years younger. Well, when you're staying in this ethereal flow, you do look younger. You sense younger. And so this is where all of that is going to come into play too. So again, a grazing type of back to basics, what you saw or what natives used to do on the land prior to that, eating every couple hours, follow your body. And you're going to notice that my body right now is like ixnay on the sugar. It's like, come on, the processed sugar, horrible time of year. But I also crave cookies and those types of things as well too. You're craving sugar constantly because when you're in this denser energetic environment, you're looking for fuel, and your adrenal glands are like, feed me, because you're in this constant state of worry. So you'll notice this transition, and then just follow what your body wants and what your body needs. And if you're looking at specific diets, take bits and pieces from it and see what goes on with that as well too. So remember, dreaming is an all-time high. Most of your dreams now will be letting you know what you're doing in the astral. So look at the symbolism with them. And, you know, with this anchoring, let me look at my empath tips here. It will allow for a secure empathic awakening. Okay, your secure empathic awakening into your ethereal records, which gives you more access into what you can do to contribute to the greater good or the divine will, and to Gaia's overall astral success and progress. We'll be using our gifts a lot in the astral to help to heal what's going on in the earthly plane. Not so much healing humans and those types of things as we understand the other energetic modalities like Reiki and the likes. You know, which are kicking into high gear, and you'll be able to use these types of things as well too. But you know, you're going to be able to be more conscious of what you're doing in the astral, but it will come through as strange dreams. So ask about your dreams. Ask your guides to show you what the dream symbolism means, maybe what you're working on, and that gives you more access to what you're passionate about too. Now, remember, when you do your empath work on your original wounds within, you will have access to the etheric field. You get the Wi-Fi access codes. Otherwise, you won't be able to Wi-Fi in. You'll be over here on the hamster wheel going, you know, why, what is this? Is it this certain person? Is it because I live here? Is it because I can't see nature? You know, and nature, I don't know if any of you have seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but when you're looking at the etheric plane, what you can see are these roots like Groot, where Groot protected in Guardians of the Galaxy through these roots. You know, the ethereal flow is establishing its roots with Mother Nature and with Gaia, and you'll have this protection so that you can be a human and be a wonderful human. And thank you about the glowing comment. And be a wonderful human that just allows all these wonderful things with your family. Your relationships with your family is going to change. Your relationship with your friends and your partners are going to change too. And Debbie made a comment on my Facebook page where she said she'd been having dreams about exes and things like that. You know, the in this lifetime, the older attachments with this new glow that you have, they're going to come back up and they're going to be like, oh, I love the glow, let me attach to you, you know. And these Groot roots, watch Guardian of the Galaxy, you'll understand what I'm saying, but these Groot roots are going to protect you from these attachments, but you can very easily be sucked back into the why aren't you paying attention to me mentality, or please give me what I need, you know, type of deal. And you're going to weeble wobble a little bit, but that's okay too. The camera does not like it when I move. I can help it. But these, just know that when these attachments come from the past, sense what their intention is. And if you haven't heard from them in a while, or if there's these types of things, there may be a very innocent part about it, but also know that if that old filtration system is looking for things to anchor into, because we're draining the power from this old filtration system. We're draining the fear, we're draining the anger. You know, we are transmuting this through Gaia's core, through Gaia's Nexus, now through the cosmos. So you'll find the reachers and the grabbers, and that's up to you. Answer that call if you want. You can answer that call if you want to face your fears and those types of things. It's not necessarily necessary, but you also want to know that if you answer that call for that person, this is where the tough love thing kind of comes in. You know, there's a coaching mentality in those types of things when you do that, but when they're your friends or your old partners or old situations, you're not doing them a darn bit of good. They need to get their own connection. They need to do the work to get to the balance, then to be able to get to the etheric plane so they can get their own Wi-Fi access codes. And if you've worked very hard for those Wi-Fi access codes, honor that. Know that this is, you know, it's not your responsibility to be their empath dumping ground. So look at the past videos that I've done about family, and that does apply to friends, partners, and most importantly, it also applies to people that will comment on your things in social media as well too. So, and you'll be able to sense the difference between someone who's commenting to make themselves look like they know something, or those types of things, or the ones that are having the heartfelt conversations and those things. And don't be afraid to delete, block, unfriend, and get those things out of your energy field. Wish them well, send them love, send them light, and say, I'm on this journey through the ethereal flow and on the ethereal pathway now, and the best thing you can do for them, and the best thing that you can do for them, for yourself, most importantly, is stay focused on that, because you're not here to heal your family, your friends, and those types of things. If you're on a client coaching basis, that's something completely different. There's a free will agreement that's involved in that, and someone's coming to you for a professional reason to say, please help me and sort through all of these anchors that I have in this old filtration system. And then that's when you can actively assist someone with healing themselves. So start working with your guides. Yes. Nature is now one of your guides. Ethereal nature is now one of your guides. I don't care what season it is. I don't care if the ground's covered in snow, you're toppled with rain or whatever. You can close your eyes and use your mind, because your heart's going to lead. You're going to work in conjunction with your mind, and you're going to sort out all those files that makes you believe that out of sight, out of mind is not something that you that out of sight, out of mind means that you can't access that. That's you know, this ethereal nature, those group roots that I'm talking about, the roots from the trees, the roots from nature, and ethereal nature in and of itself, they're accessible right here, right now, no matter where you are on this planet. The only reason why I've been stationed in Costa Rica was to assist with the guarding of Gaia's Nexus. And I have no advantage here that you do not have, no matter where you are on this planet. You don't have to be near the ocean. You don't have to be anything like that. It makes it more fun and more, you know, just visually pleasing. But the visual is you know, these, you can visually do this with your mind, and then your mind and your heart start working together as well too. Ask your guides to begin your ethereal record downloads for you. And know that your ethereal record downloads mean that you're unique. Your light is going to shine just so beautifully. And if you have any questions now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that the Q&A is up. You can come in with any questions, but we will be doing an Ask Angel Anything About Ascension type of deal. I'm just not quite sure if we're going to structure it as a private group on Skype or how we're going to do it. But start to begin your ethereal downloads, because your own personal tastes, like a lot of people are really getting into nutrition as well too. And I spoke to my nutrition gal and got some great information a week or so ago. You know, your specialties, how you're passionate and how you want to help the human race to evolve and get into these ethereal records. And again, I'll say this, be careful of your energetic attachments, because the etheric flow must adjust depending on your energetic attachment. So if you want to access your ethereal records, you can simply put yourself in the empathic bubble, ask to transmute any connections that you have, and then ask for your ethereal records download. So we're not saying don't be attached, but we're saying if you query the etheric field and you have these energetic attachments that are in a sucking mode or a dumping mode, the etheric field goes and adjusts your bandwidth, your Wi-Fi internet bandwidth to the lowest common denominator, meaning whomever isn't doing their empath work that you may have attached to you. So do what you can to balance that. Ask your guides to show you how to do that, and then access your ethereal records. And then you can close down the etheric connection as well too. It's like going into the high speed, you know, and all of this is adjustable through your empath skills. And that's what I've been working before I could talk about the covert ops that we were doing, is to get you to help and understand that this opens up your empathic gifts exponentially. And you'll notice too that the physical empathing of symptoms or physical empathing of other people's dis-ease is coming in as well too. This is the next layer of empathing that's coming in, and I'll work with either the one-on-one with clients or in these weekly things to help you to understand that that's something that you can control as well too, before it becomes something of your own, like the energenetics of the dis-ease that we were talking about as well too. But one of the biggest gifts that you have is to be able to sense and feel people's dis-ease around you, and that can get a little bit confusing, and you're really starting to realize how you're noticing your family's own dis-ease, whether it be you know, back pain, whatever's going on. So okay, so thank you for everybody who has joined live. This has been absolutely wonderful. I'm very excited to be able to speak more openly about the astral things, but I do want to remind you that what I learned in the last year and a half of quietness as well too is that it's time to be human. The extraterrestrial stuff and the information and all those things, they're wonderful and they're great, but what you want to work on right now is you do not want to miss this show. You want to work on being an energetic human in the now, regardless of your past lives, regardless of what the Syrians, the Palladians, the Arcturians, regardless of what's going on there. They're also pulling back to work with their own races on their own planets, because Gaia and Mother Earth is the heart of what's going on here in this galaxy. And when she's secure, they're secure. Their input is wonderful. They will have input, you know, here and there. But right now, the most amazing show is being a human volunteer here with Gaia, who's being invited in to the ethereal nature plane, invited in to work with Mother Nature, invited in to work with humanity on a level that you didn't even know you could do in the astral. And you want to play there. So getting my head out of that the last year and a half was probably the best thing that I could have done. You know, even though I still have contact with them, when you ask Angel anything about Ascension, we can talk to any one of the races and those types of things, the angelic realm. But right now, it's the human show. The etheric human show. So keep that in mind, and know that you're not missing anything if you don't have this communication with the other races and the star systems and those types of things, or even the angelic realm. Because as we understand all of those things as well too, they're vibrations. You can access those vibrations through that divine inner light child within you as well too. So thank you so much. Have some fun. Not quite sure if we're going to do a show next week or not, a live show given with the holidays and those types of things, but please email me with any Ascension questions, and I'll get some info out here in the next week or so about how you know, we could start that group about Ask Angel anything about Ascension. I'm so happy the gag order has been lifted. Okay, peace and love. Go be an empath. Go feel and sense the world around you. It's absolutely wonderful. Ask your guides to give you the etheric access and to show you what you need to do to get a clearer etheric access as well too. Peace and love from Gaia, Mother Nature, the angelic realm, and all those other things that we mentioned. But get to being human and get to being an energetic human now. Bye.